Right, so this is our presentation for the analysis of winter road maintenance methods, our progress report on what we have completed so far and what we still have left to finish. This is done by Sarah Thomson and Stephen Howe. And so to begin, the purpose of our report is to analyze modern winter road maintenance methods. Our objective is to find the best methods that are both effective and environmentally friendly. We are trying to find a balance between the effectiveness of our modern maintenance methods and how big of an environmental footprint these methods have, and we want to propose the best possible solution for going forwards. So what we have considered so far in the report include chemical deicers and salt, abrasives, plowing, hydronic heating pavement. So here, this figure is presenting data showing the coefficient of friction versus slip percentage on a variety of road conditions. It is essentially saying that roads that are bare and dry and do not have the effect of winter weather on them are much safer as they have a much higher coefficient of friction. This means that with a high coefficient of friction, it is more difficult for slip to occur since there is more friction occurring between either the pavement and the pedestrian or the pavement and the vehicle, making it the ideal condition for a road. However, when winter weather hits and there is snow and ice, you can see at the bottom of the graph, like the dark blue line for wet ice, the coefficient of friction is much lower, meaning it is much more dangerous. It is much more easy for slipping and sliding to occur, which is essentially saying that it is mandatory for safety for winter road maintenance to occur. So this figure 2 is a chart showing the annual spending on winter road maintenance in Prince George. It's in Canadian dollars and millions versus year. And as you can see, for some years, such as 2011, the spending has been up to about $7 million per year. And this is also keeping in mind that Prince George only has winters that are about a little over 3 months long, and their population is also 1/10 of Edmonton's. So this spending is a considerable amount, and therefore it is imperative that the most effective winter road maintenance methods are found and used for economic reasons. And it is also extremely important that these methods are also safe for the environment, or as safe as they can be. So for our work completed, we have essentially finished the majority of the work on this analytical report. More specifically, we have finished our extensive research into winter road maintenance topics such as chemical deicers, abrasives, plowing, airport maintenance, hydronic heating pavement. This information can mostly be found in the background, and in our discussion section we specifically try and focus in on the chemical deicers and the hydronic heating pavement as sort of a combination, especially near the end. We have also finished the first draft of our background and the first draft of our discussion. We've done the peer analysis and general editing based off of the peer analysis. And we've also finished the second draft, which includes the introduction and the conclusion and also the abstract. However, not exactly the second draft of the discussion. We have also taken into account the second peer analysis and have made edits to our report based on that one as well.
In these last few days of classes, there is a little work that still needs to be done on the report, and it is mostly complete. The most major task that is in progress is the reorganization of the discussion section. When first writing our discussion section, we were not fully clear on the requirements of the report. After reviewing these requirements, as well as the peer review, we decided to reorganize the section to better support and develop our arguments regarding the best winter road maintenance methods. This reorganization will help the report to flow towards a more clear and concise conclusion. As well, the cover letter for the report still needs to be completed. This task should not be very difficult to complete, as we have a better understanding of what is required of the cover letter. Final work needs to be completed on general editing throughout the report. This final editing is focused on fixing any last grammar and wording issues, as well as ensuring the report transitions smoothly between sections and that each section's purpose is clear. During this editing phase, all the references need to be formatted to IEEE standards. The report will also be read through and checked multiple times to ensure that sources are properly cited and there are no instances of possible plagiarism throughout. During the completion of this report, we ran into several different issues, the first of which being our time management. Time constraints such as work, familial, and other school responsibilities made it difficult to find the time in both of our schedules to dedicate to the report. Because of these time constraints and other factors, such as confusing instructions, we did not understand what was required of the discussion section of the report until after the drafts were submitted. There was similarly some miscommunication and misunderstanding surrounding some of the due dates of the report. To address these time management issues, we set a schedule and timeline with clear deadlines for the work remaining. This schedule made it clear when our work was due, as well as providing a reminder of what work was left to be completed. With this schedule, it was much easier to stay on track and progression on the report was much steadier. The creation of a timeline also helped us to solve our issues of miscommunication and misunderstanding of the assignment requirements. When building the schedule, deadlines and requirements were reorganized to be easier to follow. We no longer needed to go searching through the E-class documents to remember what work was due and when. Going forward, we need to stick to our schedule in the final stretch to ensure that the report is fully completed and edited by the deadline. This slide shows our timeline for the last few days until the final deadline. Our last tasks to be completed are the cover letter, reworking our discussion, and completing the final editing process before the report is handed in. Each task is given a 2-day period to be worked on and completed. And with this time allotment, each task will receive enough time and attention to be completed fully and well. With this timeline, we ensure that all of the writing will be completed on Thursday. This gives us all of Friday to edit and make certain that the assignment is prepared to be submitted before it is handed in. Using this schedule, our last few days of work are very clear on what is expected of us, and we will be able to deliver the best possible report that we can. In our closing statements, we would like to thank you for taking the time to attend our presentation. At this point in time, our report is very close to completion. While we have dealt with issues of miscommunication and time management while working on this report, through dedication and problem solving, we have worked past these issues and now little else needs to be done. By following the solutions and timeline we set out in this presentation, we know that the report will be fully fleshed out and completed by Friday.